Hi.
Good evening,
Hey,
everyone.
didn't I just see you?
Yep.
Me?
Pickle Tom.
No, you didn't see
Pickle
me at all.
Tom.
Yes.
I think I just saw you.
Me? No.
Yeah.
Anyway, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the FearFans podcast. I'm your host, John Elmy. With me is Nick, Joe, and Tom. And so Tom, how do you like the new intro?
I think it's awesome.
Oh yeah, it was. Of
course, me. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Oh, hey, it's always good to see you. Hey, Santi.
Wait.
Oh,
I finally saw it.
Earbud. There we go.
Hey, Leon. Good to see you. Yes. So tonight we're covering another Godzilla movie, but this time it's another. This is actually the movie that marks the start of the Monsterverse that's been ongoing for the past 10 years. So we're covering Godzilla 2014.
Godzilla.
Yeah, 2014, which was released on the 60th anniversary of Godzilla.
60's right.
Yep. And let's see. Yep. It was also I enjoyed seeing it in theaters, and I remember this well because when I first saw this, it was like the first time I just went to see a movie without getting popcorn and a drink. I didn't even care about that. I just wanted to watch the movie.
Wow.
I still got my cup from when they had the Godzilla themed cups. So
Oh,
I
yeah.
still got mine to this day.
Nick
Nice.
was doing the whole Italian thing. He had his hand up like.
Look at the Italian thing. Eh?
Hey, listen, I got the whole Godzilla thing. You know.
Yeah. It's the Godzilla, the king of the monsters.
Oh, it's a
Can you imagine
Godzilla. Come on.
Can you imagine if they made an Italian film version of Godzilla?
Come
Oh,
on.
yeah.
I think it would probably most likely be. I think it would probably most likely be called Godzilla versus the Mafia.
No.
Or the Mario.
There you go.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
Super Mario.
Yeah.
Super Mario Godzilla.
Oh yeah. There was one time where I just kept doing that accent like nonstop to my college girlfriend, and she was like, "Okay, enough." I'm like, "What?" and I'm just like, "What? You don't like the accent?" I'm like, "People, racist."
Yeah.
Listen, let me tell you.
And you know what? As a reminder, this is actually more for Tom. If you think about the earlier seasons of Rick and Morty, they used to have that logo that goes, "It's a good show."
I remember that.
Oh, it's a good show.
Yes. Oh, here. Nick isn't Italian unless he walks on in Pizza Hut dressed as Mario. Oh, yeah. But anyway, yeah, this Godzilla movie was like heavily advertised when it was first announced. They kept on trying to hide what Godzilla looked like from when in the trailers. They briefly saw it. They widely promoted the fact that Bryan Cranston was in it, and even though his character died like 40 minutes in.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's great. It's crazy to think that they were really advertising, about him. But yeah,
yeah,
just for a 40-minute mark.
Oh yeah, and they just this was like immediately he filmed this like he was on the set like immediately after finishing up Breaking Bad. Yeah, he was. I believe he had to wear a wig throughout this movie because he was still trying to grow his hair back after playing Walter White.
That's right.
Yeah, and when this movie was first announced, I saw like who they had. They had like I said, Bryan Cranston, but also Aaron Taylor Johnson, who at the time I only knew him for playing Kick-Ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was just like, so it's Kick-Ass and Walter White versus Godzilla.
That's pretty much what, what it was.
I gotta just point out because you mentioned Bryan Cranston. I just saw him in another movie just the other night, and he too only makes a short appearance in it. I brought it up last night is where I finally had the opportunity of watching Saving Private Ryan, and holy cow, that's that movie's something.
It is. That's my favorite war. That's my favorite war movie.
It's far different from saving. It's far different from Saving Ryan's Privates. I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
God damn.
That too is a real movie.
It is.
Yeah, spare me the details.
Well, anyways, yeah. I mean, hey, what's up, Nikki? Oh, God damn it, Chris. But no, with all
Good to see you.
With all seriousness, though, man, it's a very impactful film. It took me 25 plus years to watch it, and oh boy, it's a sad film too.
Mm-hmm.
Hard to believe, how young everybody, including Bryan Cranston, Tom Hanks are. So since you brought him up, I thought I'd just throw that in there, Tom. That's great, Don.
I go back to it every Veterans Day and Memorial Day.
Yeah.
And let's see. So, yeah, this Godzilla, and also I should mention that Elizabeth Olsen is in this, and she's the youngest of the Olsen sisters. She's the younger sister of Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen from Full House.
Right.
Yep.
I often wondered for a while, whatever happened to them?
They just quit.
Oh.
They quit the business.
What's up, Nikki?
Hey.
Hi, Nikki.
Hey, Nikki. Yeah. So we were. Hey. So yeah, we were just discussing the cast of this film of Godzilla 2014. I was talking about how Elizabeth Olsen's in this. She plays Aaron Taylor Johnson's husband, who he plays a character named Ford, and she's Ellie, and which is weird because they're husband and wife in this film, but they play brother and sister in the MCU, Marvel. So yeah, kind of weird. Let's see, Aaron Taylor Johnson in Age of Ultron plays Petro Maximoff, aka Quicksilver, and Elizabeth Olsen plays Wanda Maximoff, aka Scarlet Witch.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah.
Very interesting.
So, yeah,
So I'm
like I
just
said,
moving. Okay.
husband and wife in this movie, and brother and sister in the next. Yeah.
Keeping the family, I
Those
guess.
two girls look like they've been on some stuff. Oh, jeez.
Okay.
Oh man.
Oh, here. What's this? What's this? My lab is so
Awesome.
contagious.
What's
I
this?
remind him of John Stamos. What?
I guess because I brought up Full House. I don't know.
Right in my little corner.
Are you
He
okay?
just
Dickie?
showed up too. What's up, Chris?
Hey, Chris. What's up? Good to see you.
Hey.
So, yeah, this is actually the first Godzilla movie in a 10-year gap. I remember. I think the only Godzilla movie, the Godzilla movie before this one, was Godzilla Final Wars in 2004.
Yep.
Now I can't believe that was 20 years ago. Jesus.
Jesus.
Yeah.
God,
Yeah,
I feel old.
really.
I just got this on Blu-ray too. The double feature.
There you go.
Yeah.
I've seen that double feature DVD before.
Oh yeah, they got them on sale at Amazon now. Yeah, and so yeah, as for this Godzilla, he's at the time they made this, he was the biggest Godzilla ever made, almost 400 feet tall.
Yep.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
He was huge.
Oh, totally. Yes.
That's
And of course,
what
and also, let's see, this was directed by Gareth Edwards, who was a big Godzilla fan ever since he was a kid. And so, and they wanted to make it perfectly clear. They wanted this to be nothing like the Godzilla from 1998.
Yeah. Thank God.
But why?
And Godzilla. And
I watched this one in Las Vegas at a hotel movie theater. I remember that.
mm-hmm.
That was pretty cool. I didn't know hotels had movie theaters until that one.
Yeah. And so, yeah, this Godzilla, they did an early release for this for Toho to see it for themselves, and they loved it. They loved it. They said the second they saw this, they're like, okay, we need to get this merchandise. We're cool with this.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how Toho was going to take it, but that's interesting that this time they actually liked it.
Oh yeah, they loved it way better than the 98 version. That's for sure. Oh, Mothra, Rodan, and Jet Jaguar are some of the favorite monsters. Oh, nice. It would be. Now that you're bringing up Braxton, it would be interesting to see Jet Jaguar featured in another Godzilla movie because he was only in one that we know of.
Tom looks like he's in his own multiverse.
Me? No.
Yeah, that's what apparently Dom's saying.
No, he's in Tom's world.
Yeah, he's in Tom's world.
I
He's using an interdimensional webcam to transmit to us.
That's
Well,
He's in another world, another universe.
it happens. I mean,
right.
Hey,
It's like
Marvel.
what I say.
Yeah, I mean, hey, Marvel was right. We are in a multiverse.
we are. We
Wonder what another version of me would be like out there.
I already know what Tom's gonna do. I already know what another version of Tom would be like. You'd be like, "Come on, put me down."
Come on, you got to do
He's
it.
speaking like that on a regular basis.
Yeah, that's
Got
what
to
he
do
does.
it. Come on.
Oh, nice.
Dang. Nice.
Yeah, I don't believe he's in it. I don't believe Tom is in his own universe. Oh, he could be. You never know.
He might also even be in Cronenberg world.
He could be.
You know, I might be. I mean, listen. I mean, people say. I don't know. Wait. What?
Blue Bunny 2008. Hey, welcome. I don't think I've seen you on here before.
Hey.
Yep. So, yeah, today we're covering Godzilla from 2014. I do remember this movie fondly. It's definitely. I'm not sure if it's like the best Godzilla movie, but it's a major leap forward compared to the '98 version. That's something we can all agree.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
And I love how they have like the character that's referencing like a throwback to the original Sarazawa.
Yep.
Yeah, they have.
Oh, look, who just showed up. What's up, Dom?
What's happening?
Dom.
Oh, look, Dom's here.
What's up?
Dom's here.
Yeah. So.
Run.
Just kidding. Yeah. So tonight, Dom, Godzilla again. Yeah, we were just talking about the cast members, how Walter White was in this, and how let's see, Kick-Ass / Quicksilver. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Those are some of the roles that I know him from. And let's see, Elizabeth Olsen. Yeah. Oh,
she was here on the Minecraft.
Oh, that's right. Yes. You know what? Yeah. Now it's coming back to me. Yeah, you were there.
I couldn't remember because you know me, I can't see the comments when we play Minecraft.
Yeah.
That's why you need a second. That's why you need a second device. Get an iPad.
It works with a computer too. I'm just saying.
Yeah, he's right.
Damn it, Nick.
So,
Damn it.
Godzilla, huh?
yep. So, how would you rank this version of Godzilla compared to like other versions that we've seen in the past?
Me?
Everybody.
Well, I like this. This is the one where they had that really cool skydiving scene, right? Where they're like, yeah, this was a good one. I just recently watched -1 the other day, and I absolutely loved it.
Oh yeah, they have it on
that
Netflix
was
now.
great.
Yeah, I absolutely. I think -1's the best one, but this one's great, man.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing this in theaters right when it came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one was intense. I think this was the more intense Godzilla's. Other than -1 now, I think they top it. As far as like, when you go back to like that one with Puff Daddy and those old school ones, I take appreciation to.
Oh yeah,
because of the way they filmed it and all that back in the day and how this became the iconic character. And then I think that the one, what was it, from the 90s with the Puff Daddy theme and all that, I think that was totally ruined. That was the worst movie ever. But then they brought it back. Did they ever have a Godzilla after that, or was this the next one?
This was no, there was no Godzilla after. Well, unless you count the cartoon that was on.
It was the animated series. Yeah.
I would. This was the next movie, wasn't it? After the Puff Daddy one.
Well, there were several others that were being made in Japan though. But
okay.
Yeah, the one that was before this was from 10 years before in 2004, Godzilla Final Wars.
Final Wars. Okay.
So there was a 10-year gap between that one and this.
Yeah.
And so this is the first film of the Monsterverse, which is still ongoing. The latest one is Godzilla and Kong: The New Kingdom.
Yeah,
I've not seen that yet.
Hey, it's apparently that one's now the highest grossing of them all.
Is it really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Look how much a movie ticket costs now. I mean, jeez.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And this is like $15 when you go in over.
Right. That's true. And so, yeah, Don, we were just mentioning before that Toho saw an earlier screening of Godzilla 2014 for approval, and they loved it. They said, okay, we need to get this merchandise out there. We want to make toys.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
And they made toys.
Oh, yeah.
I think Tom went to his other verse. He might have fell out of the chair.
An acres, Tom.
Bye, Tom.
And
he'll be back. I just
yeah.
know.
Bye.
He'll be back.
No.
Oh, yeah, he'll be back. I mean, I like how it's crazy how they just widely advertised Bryan Cranston in this, like right after Breaking Bad was over. But thing is, he was only in the movie for like 40 minutes before he died.
Yeah,
But,
that was. Yeah, what was up with that?
Yeah, I feel like it was just more of a marketing scheme, like having all those advertisements feature him to get people to want to watch it. But yeah, Bryan Cranston.
Wasn't that like Drew Barrymore in Scream?
pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he wanted to be in this film regardless because he's a huge fan of Godzilla. Wait, whose feedback is going off?
I don't know. I hear it too.
It's not coming from my end.
I'll mute mine to see.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's you, Dom. I think it could be Nikki
or me.
Yeah. But yeah, like Bryan Cranston, he loved the original Godzilla. He like from 1954. That's his favorite movie of all time.
Yeah. Man, they're just on point though.
Oh
like
yeah,
a lot of these movies.
This is a great one.
Trying to look through it. I'm trying to do some research on this movie too. That was me. I turned the show off on my phone just now because I'm researching this movie a little bit too because it's been a little while since I've seen it. But I remember this one being intense, like that skydiving scene. I remember going to the theaters to see something else, and they had brought this scene out as far as like a teaser trailer or something. And I'm like, what the hell am I seeing? And I was like, Godzilla, man! Like I couldn't wait to see this one.
Oh yeah. I mean, I like how the trailers kind of like hid the way the Mutos, the main villains of this, like made everybody think it's just Godzilla.
Yeah.
Like they wanted to hide the fact that for this time around, Godzilla is a savior or rather than a destroyer.
Absolutely.
Just like it was similarly like in Godzilla 2000 in a way, because we were under the impression that it was just going to be him, not realizing in that case you had Orga, an alien monster. We weren't expecting that. Because again, prior to that, any Godzilla movie that just had him in it, we would always, those ones he just appeared solo. It was when they started having, it was almost in a way kind of continuing that tradition that we were going to be under the belief that it was just going to be him, Godzilla solo, but it seems like nowadays, even now, they try to hide the fact that there's actually another monster he's going to fight.
Yeah. I see that Guns N' Roses shirt and the American Skull cowboy hat. Nice. Yeah, Guns N' Roses, good band. But yeah, Nick, they still do use that kind of technique in trailers today. Like you remember Godzilla versus Kong from 2021? Yeah. They focused, the trailers just focused on Godzilla and Kong, but hid the fact that there would be another surprise villain in it, Mecha Godzilla.
Yeah.
So yeah, they pretty much still do the same thing with their advertisements.
Yep.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that with Kong and Zilla?
With Kong and Zilla, it's like I think it was awesome, like having like those two like join the mix because when I first heard about that heard that it was coming out like a Godzilla fighting Kong, it was like the first time that's ever happened in decades. They did clash each other. They did clash with one another before. That movie was back in the 60s.
1962.
Wow.
But and also having them ally with one another, nice change of pace.
That was my point, what I was getting to. I think I liked the way they, there was no winner and they had them as allies. I thought that was clever as all hell, man.
Right.
Yeah.
For sure. Oh, yeah. Let's see. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. We definitely want to talk about the new roar sound effect. Because the original roar that was created from a leather glove against a double bass, but but that didn't really adapt well to the sound that they had in theaters today. So they had to come up with a new technique, which involved using metal friction, using ice, like dried ice against metal. It creates that crumbling and bellowing noise. They mixed that in into the roar. And let me just display the result of that.
You have the samples. Okay, good.
Yep. And here's that right here.
Remix.
It's really impressive.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, incredible what we can do with audio editing.
Yeah.
Let's see. Then it says that for the rumble at the end of the roar, I just read this. They manipulated the recordings of a potted plant racked against concrete.
It does sound pretty metallic.
It does. When you really think about it, it does. I love how the two old Mothra films but don't know the year or decade they were released. I remember the old Mothra movies. The original Mothra, I believe it was from the 1960s.
I think so.
Yeah,
that one was 61.
Well, when I was a kid, during the week and weekends, we only had 3 channels at that time too, besides PBS. They played a lot of those monster movies from the 60s.
Yeah.
you know, and my brother and I was hooked on all of them. And be quiet.
So's your dog.
Yeah, that's my dog.
Yeah, I know that, Hal.
And you know, the thing was, they were also great because they were done in black and white. And I think that doing them in black and white back then, and the way they did them, just made them that much more fascinating to watch.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've seen a lot of good black and white classics. Like Night of the Living Dead was definitely a great one. One of an all-time favorite. Psycho is my second favorite horror film. Yes.
I just saw a movie the other day, black and white. I watch black and whites to lay down and go to bed to, but it was called Slaughter of the Vampire, and I love it. There you go. Nice. So in Slaughter of the Vampire, I thought Princess Leia had the first buns. It was actually in this movie. She had the buns, and I'm like, wait a minute, did the Return of the Jedi steal this, man?
Yeah, right. And I'm gonna figure out. Just wonder, like, you know what year it came out?
Slaughter of the Vampire?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, it just looked at 1962. So we're talking almost like 15 years before Star Wars.
Yeah.
Right.
Nosferatu is the oldest one I've seen too, I think.
For sure. Yeah, we've seen it.
The original.
You know, the other thing to also add, and I probably brought it up on the show before, and it's not just for the giant monster movies. Any time, especially in those times, involving the black and white that's used in a lot of movies, horror films at that time. I mean, it not only just creates a darker and creepier atmosphere, but if you kind of look at it very carefully, and Toho Company Limited did this for a short period, for a couple of years as well, as even with tracing back to the original Godzilla movie, you shot it in black and white. That also hit a lot of the effects too, like wires and stuff like that. So it also kind of darkened stuff that you didn't want people to see to reveal, the effects. So black and white was also pretty useful to hide.
Yeah, true. Let's see. Oh yeah, I also love the intro of this movie, how it shows references of Charles Darwin's book, that's his book on evolution, and then cave drawings of Godzilla, his history, and then it showed them trying to bomb Godzilla in the Bikini Atoll, which didn't kill its Godzilla, but it definitely mutated the ocean life to the point where we now have a sponge who lives in a pineapple.
Wow.
That's a theory, Nick. That's a theory.
That's a major fan theory people have, Nick. That's that the bombings and that nuclear testing in Bikini Atoll had mutated the sea life into what we see in the show SpongeBob.
Oh my gosh! I never even.
Guys, I just got off 2 podcasts. I got to go do some editing. I just came in to say hello real quick, and awesome show is watching.
Thank
from
you,
the back.
Dom.
So
have a good night.
Later,
good seeing you.
All
good seeing you as always, Dom.
Bye.
Good to have you, Dom.
Real quick, I just want to also say I tried contacting Tom on the other hand, see what happened to him. Okay. I don't know where he went, but he just vanished. He must have got sucked up in Cronenberg world, place where everybody's Cronenberg.
A portal. That's a portal.
Yeah. Oh, Nick. So yeah, like I was saying, that's how SpongeBob got created, and then we have the show 45 years later. Yeah, I just love doing that voice, the French narrator. The guy who says things like 2 hours later.
I do that a lot whenever I see like a title card of some sort. I do that a lot.
2 hours later.
And Lauren makes a good point. Yep, and the sponge wears square pants.
Yeah, Lauren. Yeah, just for context, SpongeBob came up because we were talking about how they were trying to bomb Godzilla in 1954 in the Bikini Atoll. It's like that didn't kill Godzilla, but it did mutate the marine life, which we'll see 45 years later in SpongeBob. That's how SpongeBob was created.
I mean,
the nuclear abomination.
I mean, didn't something? Oh wait, what was? Oh jeez, I just lost.
No,
my head. There was
right.
Oh jeez, I just lost the question I was going to bring up. It'll come back. It'll come back.
Okay. Aside from SpongeBob, what is the connection to Oppenheimer? Oh, about the connection with Oppenheimer? I believe they did a quote from the trailer on the original trailer for this movie when it came out. Like Oppenheimer created the atomic bomb. So, now that you think about it, so technically Oppenheimer created SpongeBob.
There you go.
We figured it out.
You got all the red string connected the right way.
Yes. For
Wait,
sure.
hang on, so what is going on here? I've been hearing this a lot. Way to be tough there, Nick. In the future, I could see you as Duck Dynasty, that guy on the show. Which guy are you talking about?
Oh, hey, Alice.
Hi, Alice.
Well,
Pixar theory. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we were just talking about how, Oppenheimer created Godzilla. Yep, that's true. He created Godzilla. He created SpongeBob, all with his nuclear bombs. Yeah, and also there was a mention of I thought what was a pretty good scene was where Sarazawa was talking to the admiral about his disfavor towards using nuclear weapons to take down Muto and Godzilla, because he was like pulling out the watch that he had collected and said, and like pointed and showed it in the watch, and then the admiral said the watch has stopped, and he's like, yes, it stopped at 8:15 in the a.m. August 6, 1945, and we all know what happened that moment, right?
Yeah.
So that is what inspired Godzilla.
It undoubtedly it does.
Mm-hmm.
Godzuki, come on now.
Major Godzilla fan. Oh yeah, same. Been a fan ever since I was little.
Is this someone you've had on watching your shows before, Don?
Don't think so. Don't think so. Yeah. I don't believe
regardless.
But regardless, welcome, Alice.
Yeah,
Welcome.
Always good to have new viewers watching.
Oh yes. I see you're down wearing white together. Oh yeah, that's coincidental.
Coincidence. Come on.
Except mine has stripes on it.
Nice.
Yeah, this one is just a long sleeve polo shirt.
I almost threw on a white shirt too, guys. So that would have been really weird.
It needs to make a show starring SpongeBob and Nick of the Corn Con.
Yeah, I mean, hey, Billy, we pointed that out at the beginning of the show. We actually, Billy, we pointed that out at the beginning of the show that it's part of the Monsterverse.
Yeah. I'm just imagining right now what Lauren said.
Oh, I got you.
Got to jump on somewhere. Being a fan,
they keep making some pretty decent Godzilla movies now. I mean, the best one now is Godzilla -1. That's definitely going to be the next Godzilla we'll be covering on this. Now that everybody has access to it on Netflix.
I was just going to say, I better watch it on Netflix now.
That's right. You guys have no excuse now.
Was it just me?
No Netflix.
I got to say something about this one.
Just before you do, Joe, Nikki says she's got to go, unfortunately.
Oh.
Yeah, I just saw your message, Nick. I just wanted to speak out for her, but yeah, she's got to go.
We're getting our. That's okay. Yeah, we're getting our roof gutters cleaned. Yeah, we're getting our gutters cleaned, and it's getting too loud, and the vibrations kind of messing with the internet. So yeah, won't be able to stay too long.
Oh man.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll definitely join tomorrow. Autism. Take care.
That's all right. Take care. It's actually Thursday. That we're at as a reminder. Yeah, that's for the autism awareness special that Lois is going to be having.
Yeah. So
it's ahead of day, so maybe she kind of.
Yeah. But hey, we're both on the spectrum, so we're happy to join that show.
I just realized it's already went. Go ahead, Joe. Go ahead.
I just got a question. Is it just me, or when back in the 60s and stuff, when they were making all the King Kong and Godzilla movies, and you had Mothra and all the monsters that you could think of, even the flying turtle.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice, Alice.
Didn't Godzilla? There was something off about the creatures in this to me.
Hi everyone, how are you?
Godzilla didn't quite look right. Neither did those underwater whatever they were supposed to be. To me, they seemed like praying mantis type monsters.
Yeah, I always thought Mutos looked like those things from Starship Troopers.
Well, they're actually meant to be. Believe it
I like that movie, by the way.
Believe it or not, the flying Mutos, if you look very carefully, you can tell it actually is based on another kaiju monster, but it's not from the Godzilla franchise. Like everybody always says that it kind of resembled Rodan. In a way, it kind of did, but it actually more resembled that from the Gamera franchise, Gauss.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Because
No,
it had a similar triangular shaped head. It had that kind of grayish blue like appearance, and it even had the bat like wings. It was like almost Toho's answer to Gamera's Gauss in a way.
I can kind of see that. Yeah. It's like I like how they just created like an original monster, like just to start off with, like and just work their way towards like more monsters that we're familiar with. Like after this one in Godzilla King of the Monsters, you had Mothra, Rodan, and King Ghidorah.
Well, and also even the other Mutels, you can clearly tell, has also some resemblance. Also, again, it seems like both monsters had resemblance to others. The one that couldn't fly seemed to have more of a resemblance of the Clover from Cloverfield. It had some similar looks to it. Its limbs particularly.
Yeah, the limbs at least. Yes,
yeah.
I can see that. And I loved Cloverfield. Like I was in high school when I saw that. I was like a sophomore.
And it was so hated by everybody too. I don't remember it enough to watch. Those were days when I was inhaling substances. So.
Did you guys officially hear they're making a sequel now? Like an official sequel to Cloverfield?
Nice.
Yeah.
It's like after 15 plus years, they're finally making an official Cloverfield 2.
Nice.
Wow.
Cool.
That's awesome.
I'll have to go back and watch it.
The Clover will be back.
I thought it was really good when it came out.
Okay.
So
that's two people whose opinion I trust.
Oh yeah. I mean, found footage was like starting to become a thing again. You know, like starting to become big again with Cloverfield and also my favorite found footage horror film. You know,
I already know this one. Here we go again.
This is terrifying.
This is the Spanish one, isn't it? Yeah, I remember that was really good.
I got to go back to what Lauren here says, by the way. Hey, Nick, is your niece going to call you Uncle Corn Cob? I mean, hey, you never know. I mean, I can't predict the future, so I don't really know. I'll find out later on.
It'll be Uncle Beefstick Nick.
No. You know what? Or worse. No, it could be even worse. She could end up becoming one of the children of the corn.
No, Jesus. Yeah. But so Kate, you remember seeing? Did you see Godzilla 2014 in theaters?
I didn't see it in theaters, but I saw it when it came out. I haven't watched it since it came out, so I don't have very vivid memories of it. But I enjoyed it. I remember it being very similar to Cloverfield because Cloverfield came out just before that.
2008.
Yeah.
Really?
Cloverfield? Yeah, it was 2008. Yeah.
No way. Yeah.
Oh, here's a good question. As first, how would you rank the Monsterverse? Oh, you mean rank each movie? Oh, good. That's good. I want to say the best one was probably Godzilla versus Kong because I just love the story in that, and also Millie Bobby Brown put out an awesome performance. Yeah, she's an amazing actress. Let's see. Oh yeah, I loved the design of Mechagodzilla in it. I thought it was a nice modern touch to it. So
nice.
Nikki here says, "Sounds like Godzilla on my roof." Yeah, she was on. She was on literally just a minute or two before you came on, Kate, but she had to leave early because they're getting work done on their roof.
Oh, okay.
And let's see, second favorite of Monsterverse would be Godzilla and Kong, a new Empire. Third favorite is Godzilla, and let's see. Fourth would be Kong Skull Island, and of course, last one is Godzilla King of the Monsters. I don't know. I felt like the story was just meh, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to say I didn't realize how many Godzilla movies there are in Japanese. Obviously, it originates from Japan, but there's so many, and I didn't realize that they had a whole museum. Yeah.
These are all Japanese.
That's crazy. So if I go to the museum, Don and Nick, I'll get you a little Godzilla.
That's so
souvenir.
Cool.
Yeah, like as far as I can tell you right now is that between, and I'm only just saying just the Japanese ones, between 1954 and now 2024, there has now been officially 36 movies made, and when I include both the not only just the original one from 54, but even the Raymond Burr, but as a full, like if you add like the Monsterverse ones, there's now between 1954 and 2024 fully, he's appeared in 40 movies. And as I always like to always throw in, that also doesn't include the 1998 crap stain American. That one doesn't count.
Nope, that's because kid. I was mentioning before. That's why when this movie was about to be released, they organized an early screening for Toho to see, so that they can give their approval, and they approved of this. They said this was definitely a good version of Godzilla, and they're like, we need to put toys on the market. We're fully supporting this movie.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, it was a different world to the '98.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
That's because they just tried like making it like America's own thing, like they weren't trying they were trying to make it faithful to the Godzilla that we know and love. But
yeah, I think that was a very 90s thing to do, though, wasn't it? Like everything seemed to be Americanized and not very culturally.
Well, yeah.
I think they could do better than the Japanese in some things. And when I was a kid, a lot of that stuff that I watched it was created by the Japanese, and a lot of it was dubbed, or you had subtitles.
It was dubbed, yeah.
All right, and see, I was growing up watching all of this stuff from the 60s as reruns because I was a kid in the 70s. But all that stuff was big. Speed Racer,
all that anime, the original anime, basically.
Oh yeah,
yeah. But then they had some other TV series that were like monsters.
Battle of the Planet.
I can't remember what it was called. Ultraman.
Oh yeah,
Ultraman. Yeah,
that's right.
A lot of this stuff was coming over from Japan, and it was better than what was made here. Of course, we had the Flintstones and Scooby-Doo and stuff like that, but nothing had the imagination of Godzilla and some of these TV series that they were coming up with. And Speed Racer was one of the most popular Jap animation cartoons of the 70s.
Yeah.
I'm hearing somebody's dog.
What the hell was that?
Joe's.
That's my diva.
My first experience to Godzilla is like the early or the late 80s, late 70s cartoon. And then from there, I started finding them all on like.
It's beautiful, Joe. Really beautiful.
Started finding them all on like Saturday afternoons, like Joe.
Well, and one other thing to point out, I told you about this, Don, is that there were back in the 90s, like even when Toho was still making their own Godzilla movies before they concluded with Godzilla versus Destroya.
Right.
It's too bad that this particular actor didn't live long enough to see it, but before the 1998 one, Raymond Burr in the early 90s, Raymond Burr, who was still alive at that time,
right?
He actually said in a 1992 interview that he was trying to get the rights to make his own version of Godzilla for America. And it was just simply due to the fact he says in the interview, I mean, it wasn't to try to say that, America could do it better. He just to make his own version of Godzilla for the US because as he said, he always liked Godzilla. Mm-hmm. And the fact that he got to be in the Americanized one back in 1956 was very special to him. And he always enjoyed the character. So unfortunately, because I think it was in 91 or 92 that he was interviewed. Sadly, that never came to fruition because he died the following year. So had Raymond Burr been around for a couple more years, I definitely truly believe he could have gotten the rights from Toho to make his own Godzilla movie. And most likely in that case, he probably would have done a better Americanized version than the one that was done in 98.
Yeah. So that's the thing. Like, I feel like it would have been better, like, to have Godzilla movies, like, at that time, made by Godzilla fans, people who are faithful to it, like, because that's what Godzilla 2014 is. Because that's what Godzilla 2014 is. Gareth Edwards, the director, was a huge fan. Bryan Cranston was a huge fan, and some of the producers were as well. And
to have somebody also be part of a film to make their own version, that's quite powerful too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's definitely no doubt in my mind that Raymond Burr probably would have, had he been alive a few more years, he would have definitely been disappointed if this 98 remake.
Right. And let's see, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. This, but I like this version of Godzilla where he acts as a savior when there's something even worse than him is threatening mankind. In this case, the Mutos. And because it shows that Godzilla doesn't even want to attack mankind. There were a couple scenes where he was when traveling through the water, and in front, it looked like he was about to ram into the boats, but no, he just goes under them. Yeah. And there was even one part where as Godzilla was swimming through the water, the boats were just following alongside him. Godzilla had no interest in attacking those boats.
Well, let's see. I think that even back when we thought he was a hero most of the time, and I think that's the way they wanted it. That Godzilla was their hero. Something bad came. He stayed underwater, didn't show himself, but when shit hit the fan, all of a sudden here he comes when the world needed him.
Right.
And that's the way it was in those old black and white ones too. A lot of the times when he was fighting another creature.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't like the video game Rampage and destroying havoc, trying to kill people and eat them on purpose. That wasn't his thing.
Well, yeah, he did start off that way, but as the franchise went on, then yes, he did.
They turned him into a hero at some point.
Yep.
And they kind of kept it that way, and I like that they kept it that way.
He became Earth's defender at some point.
Yeah, there were several examples of this, like where he fought Hedorah, the smog monster. Let's see. King Ghidorah several times.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
absolutely.
there were times where he had to act as Earth's savior.
Yep.
And let's see. What other question I have? I wish that Nick would be here for this, but let's see. I know. I know. I hit something. Oh yeah, there was the character Dr. Sarazawa. I think his name was Dr. Ishiro Sarazawa. I believe Ishiro was to honor the creator of Godzilla, Ishiro Honda.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't have thought about that. But
yes.
Yeah.
They do creative things like that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They definitely do.
To respect.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Ishiro Honda, I believe he's no longer with us. So he left a really good legacy behind.
Is this the one with the Japanese actor in it? The really famous one?
Ken Watanabe. Oh wait, what was his name? Ken Watanabe. Yes.
Yeah, I really like him as an actor. I think he's really good.
There's just one flaw that I noticed as far as his dialogue is that as he pointed out to his watch that he had from Hiroshima, he said it was my father's. But here's the thing, it's like that would imply that Sarazawa would be about 70 for that to be possible, because that happened in 1945, and this movie takes place in 2014. It would have been more sense if he said it was my grandfather's.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been more sense.
Somebody didn't do a good job researching that then.
It says he's named after the director Ishiro Honda.
I knew it. Yep, the director of the original Godzilla from 1954.
And after the scientist who killed Godzilla in the original 1954 film.
Yes, with the creator of the oxygen destroyer. Yes, that's right.
The Ishiro, whatever, I can't say the last name.
Ishiro Sarazawa.
Yeah, thank you.
Here. Angela's saying one of the memes that was used for Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, because I thought that was kind of weird. When I first saw this movie, it showed Aaron Taylor Johnson and Elizabeth Olsen playing characters who are married, but in the next movie, Age of Ultron, they were brother and sister. I'm thinking, yeah, that's weird.
Well, it happens, I don't think that was something that was intentionally done.
Probably not. I can't say I saw that coming.
No.
You didn't see that coming?
No coming.
But it is kind of a unique coincidence, because it's just like two actors that were just right for two specific roles, and they crossed paths twice.
Yeah.
It's
not the first time that's happened.
Spouses, and the other time as siblings, and you get to thinking, oh, there's some incest going on there somewhere.
Oh, Jesus. But also, I like that scene where it's like Godzilla was like defending children on the bus from those missiles that were like meant for him. Like he acted as like a kid savior in that moment, and also, but then he had to go ahead and destroy the Golden Gate Bridge. I mean, I feel like around that time, the Golden Gate Bridge was taking a lot of abuse in these movies. Like, let's see, yeah, that bridge got destroyed in Pacific Rim. Let's see, San Andreas. Yes, yeah, San Andreas, and I believe Terminator. There was a scene in Terminator Genesis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, yeah, Golden
Gate. I
Bridge.
bet if you look up online how many times that's been destroyed, I bet it's in double digits or more.
Let me take a look right now. Let's see. Golden.
I'm guessing at least 20.
Bridge destroyed in
27.
I think it's around 45.
Oh, here, Golden Gate Bridge in popular culture. Okay, this is Wikipedia, though. I don't completely trust Wikipedia. Let's see.
I don't either.
Oh, it came from beneath the sea. I remember that one. I saw that.
Yeah.
That was ages ago when I was little. Jesus. Oh, partially. From Superman. Okay, I remember that scene. X-Men: The Last Stand. Okay. But wait, Mega Shark versus Giant Octopus. What the hell is this?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, Pacific Rim, Godzilla, San Andreas. Oh, here, Sharknado 5.
Wow.
Oh, jeez.
Here comes Nick.
What's he doing?
Yeah, Nick, where'd you go?
You're on mute.
You're on mute. We can't hear you.
Sorry, guys. I'm kind of in a little bit of pain right now. This just showed up. This happened earlier today, and it just kind of came back right side of my jaw. Not really right on my jaw, but like further back.
Back here.
It's kind of sore. And I had to talk to my mom about it.
Oh, sorry, Nick.
I hate to say this, but way how I see it is most likely, and I said to my mom, I still got my wisdom teeth. So there might be a possibility that it's time to get rid of them. But
it's not that bad, Nick, though. Like when you get them taken out, it's not that bad. It's the recovery that's a bit tricky.
I got mine now when I was in high school.
I still got once.
I still got mine, and a lot of times the left side, like the back one, has always been hurting, but I've kind of grown accustomed to it, even though it still sucks.
Yeah.
But now it's the right side. But the way it's not like the same. It's kind of like an aching kind of feeling almost. And I know it's not anything that I ate or anything. I actually have been eating soft food throughout today, so I know this was not the result of me chewing on something.
I got some needle nose pliers and some liquor. I can come right over.
There you go. DIY tooth pulling.
Yeah. But honestly, Nick, like the longer you leave it, the worse it's gonna get. You have to get them out as soon as you can.
Yeah, go to the dentist and see what they say, bud. For real.
Yeah.
To make matters worse, I mean, I told my mom even asked this, and I had brought it up. It's been well over a year since we've gone to see a dentist. I mean, we kind of have this whole like family plan that we do, where like all of it, not necessarily all of us, but a majority of us all go together once because. Yeah. You know, it's one of those things where you go all together. The price is cheaper then because it's like we're all kind of splitting it. Mm-hmm. It's been over a year since we've gone to a dentist, so it might be.
Yeah. Hey, I can just picture right now. You go to the dentist, and the dentist is like, "Don't worry, this won't hurt me a bit."
But yeah,
Kate could be your dentist.
Yeah.
I just took some ibuprofen, so hopefully that will do the trick.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
You definitely need an
Pennywise
X-ray.
could be your dentist. I can imagine that one.
Yeah, but it's
DIY wisdom teeth pulling.
Yeah, it sucks, but yeah, most likely I'm probably gonna have to. I think it's time to get them taken out.
Okay. Oh yeah,
they've been in my gums long enough.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, we'll get that taken care of as soon as you can. Definitely, I recommend
it. Yes. It's gonna suck, but at least it's
done.
It'll be done. You'll be good. Couple days healing.
Oh, here he's saying the total is 10 for time the bridge was taken out in movies. Yeah, we were talking about that scene of the Golden Gate Bridge when Godzilla. Yeah, we were talking about that scene in this movie with the Golden Gate Bridge when Godzilla ripped right through it. And I was thinking around this time, the Golden Gate Bridge was taking a lot of abuse in movies.
Yeah, the earliest movie was 1955.
Wow. Yes, it came from beneath the sea, the one with the giant octopus. Yes.
Wasn't that Ray Harryhausen that were on the effects of that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Superman, the core.
Was that black and white?
Yes.
The nine? Yeah. I think I might have seen that one.
Oh, yeah.
It was the same. And as a reminder, too, because a lot of people think of Ray Harryhausen, not just for those movies from that time, but he's also well known for, in fact, his last time he ever got involved with that kind of effects. Wasn't it not necessarily a giant monster movie, although it still had one. And that was from the early 80s, Clash of the Titans.
Yes.
Love that movie.
That's right.
That was his very last that was his last time he ever worked on that type of animation before he eventually retired.
Yeah, retired for stop motion, and they did a little bit of a homage to him in Monsters Inc. You know, they named the restaurant Harryhausen's.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
and also Ray Harryhausen, in a way, kind of was another additional inspiration for Godzilla because he made just the year before Japan made Gojira. 1953 saw the movie The Beast from 20,000 Fathoms, which Japan took part of that and made it into. You can kind of say Gojira is kind of like Japan's version of The Beast from 20,000 Fathoms, even though the plots are completely, I can't think right now.
It's okay, Nick.
Yeah, it sucks when you get this pain and distraction. Yeah, even though they're unrelated, but you could still. But the one thing for sure is both movies involve a giant reptilian type creature terrorizing, destroying cities. So even Ray Harryhausen has some credit for inspiring Godzilla.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Let's see. I wanted to mention some of the cast here too. Let's see. We talked about Bryan Cranston. We talked about Aaron Taylor Johnson, Elizabeth Olsen. But one name that did stick out for me was Sally Hawkins, who played Vivian, who was assistant to Serizawa. After seeing this movie, she was in a really good movie. A few years later, The Shape of Water.
Shape of Water.
Yeah.
She played Eliza in that. She was the star. I believe she got nominated for an Oscar for that.
Yes, she did.
I know the movie won Best Picture that year.
And that's another movie, Don, that you and I have seen in theaters when it first came out.
She's been in a lot of films though, like she's in Paddington and she's in.
Well, I didn't know you had a copy of it, Don.
It's a Best Picture winner. I have to have a copy.
Yeah.
I still remember when we saw that movie, Don, and I think I not to go off this direction, I'll just throw it out. When you first invited me to see that movie, at first I didn't really think much of it because I thought, this is just another, film involving some, underwater critter of some sort. But then in the end, it was like I was really impressed with it. And
I just figured, it was made by Guillermo del Toro, who has made all kinds of amazing films. I thought you would like that one.
And also too, that was the other reason why I wanted to see it. I think, because it's also made by Guillermo del Toro, I'm a big fan of his work.
Oh, yeah.
It should be fun, and it's definitely a great movie. I still remember we chose a perfect night. There was like very few people in the theater when we went to go see it.
Oh yeah, this is basically like The Creature from Black Lagoon, where the creature wins and gets the girl.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
When you think about it, yeah. But the only thing that shocked me is the fact that people brought kids who look about
my god, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What kind of parent in their right mind brings their little kid to a movie like this?
So I'm just gonna say it this way. I'm not gonna go into full details, but the opening, for those that haven't seen it, the opening of the movie is interesting. I'll just say it that way. It's pretty explicit scene, and then probably about. I was kind of surprised by that for a movie to start off that way. But anyways, about 10-15 minutes after the movie started, this family comes in and they sit in front of us. They have two kids who've been in the dark. I don't even think these kids were even like 10 years old.
And
Don and I, we looked at each other like, you brought their kids to this movie? It's not really a kid's. Based on their appearance, they probably had to be no more than maybe between what would you say, Don? 6 to 8, ages 6 to 8 years old, maybe.
Not even 8.
Not even 8. You think maybe 5?
Roughly.
It was strange, and I mean, my first thought was, like, oh, thank God they weren't here for the beginning, but unfortunately,
nope, it got worse.
Yeah, it got what they showed. Yeah, it got worse. It got more explicit from that point on.
Yes.
My first horror movie experience, I was 9 years old and watched Ghost Story.
Ghost Story. Okay.
There you go.
I had nightmares for weeks, according to my mom. But
Yeah, I was about 12 when I watched Pan's Labyrinth, and that really, really shook me up.
Also by Del Toro. And
Yeah.
and it's also worth noting that the actor who played the fawn in Doug Jones, he's the creature in The Shape of Water.
And he also,
it's him.
And he also played, believe it or not, the Pale Man in Pan's Labyrinth. He played a couple characters in that movie.
That's right. Yeah, that's true.
And it's funny, I've only seen parts of Pan's Labyrinth. I've only seen parts of it. I haven't even seen the full thing, but still somehow I already got a lot of knowledge when it comes to Pan's Labyrinth.
Thank you, Santi.
And I've also seen what was that other movie that Del Toro made? He made it before Pan's Labyrinth. Devil's Backbone.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I love the Pinocchio one that he made. That was good. Let's see. What wanted to mention? Oh yeah. So I wanted to talk about the new monster featured in this, Muto, which was short for what was it? Massive unidentified terrestrial organism.
Kind of similar to like a UFO in a way.
Yeah, pretty much. And what was unique about them is that they had the ability to emit EMP blast, electromagnetic pulse. Yeah, like which it basically shuts down anything that works with electricity, and basically anything with including vehicles. Because there was that scene where they flew in, the Air Force sending planes at it, and it emitted an EMP blast, and those planes just flew and crashed right into the ground.
Yep.
So it's like the opposite of Magneto.
Right. I can see that. Yeah, I first learned about EMP when I was in my before I was 10 years old when I saw that movie GoldenEye.
Oh yeah.
The James Bond movie. Yeah.
British.
That whole theory is even more scary nowadays because that's more of a reality than it is just science fiction anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure that somewhere out there they have been working on EMP based weapons. So yeah, that stuff comes
they do. Some police departments in some big cities have the capability of knocking out, somebody's car when they're chasing them in high pursuit.
Mm-hmm. That's right. And let's see. I mean, like how there were like two very different Mutos based on their gender. Like one of them, the one that could fly, the one that was introduced in the beginning, had wings. That was a male, and the bigger one was female, and it carried like eggs. Like, I mean,
those things reminded me of praying mantis. I was waiting for the female to start eating the male.
Well, and it's typical when it comes to like, it kind of does have they do have an insect-like trait to them, because if you actually look at it with some species of animals and insects, it's often compared. In fact, the cicadas that we're dealing with right now is a good primary example, believe it or not.
These are nasty.
Well, not only, I was going to say
I didn't see them till I was down by you.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was talking about.
Fucking loud as hell.
They are.
Yeah, they're
right outside my place.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
They are. We've been invaded.
I stopped at a gas station in that area when I was in Joliet there, and I get out of the gas station, and there I shit you not, I couldn't see the ground because they were all dead.
Yeah,
I gotta step on these suckers just to get out of my truck.
Yeah, I mean, not only that, they're also like splattering our windshields and
they did that. We got a couple of them splattered on our windshield.
There's even a few that's made their
washed.
There's even a few that's made their way into our store, believe it or not. And well, I'm just, before I get to what I was going to say, I'm just going to make a long story short for that, is that I've been hearing them make their noise in these last few days. Not today, fortunately. I think most of the ones that were in the store have now died, so it's not as much of a major concern. But I was heavily distracted when I kept hearing them, because the one thing I was worried about was working, and then all of a sudden have like land one in my hair or something like that. But the last few days, they actually had me do juicing in the back in the cooler, which I don't like doing it. Don't get me wrong, I actually hate it, but at least it kept me. It got me into an area where I knew they wouldn't be. So it's like all I cared about was that point is I just wanted to focus on my work and be away from those cicadas.
At that point, he was safe.
When
Well,
you
I
say
was.
when you say juicing, is that like making smoothies or juices? Or...
freshly squeezed orange juice.
Okay, cool. Because all I heard was like cicadas and juicing.
No,
and I was
God,
like,
no. They don't make their way.
Don't go there.
Make
Oh,
a paste.
Cicada smoothie.
Oh, God. But no, what I was going to say.
People are putting out recipes for them.
Well, but
chocolate covered cicadas.
Yeah, but Nick, I mean, this wouldn't be the first time. This wouldn't be the this wouldn't be the first time that Godzilla had faced an insect like monster.
Yeah, of course. You had Mothra, and then of course
Megaguirus.
Megaguirus, a giant dragonfly. But no, what I was
That's
originally
Japanese, right, Don? The Japanese.
Yep, the Japanese ones.
But anyways, what I was going to originally say though was, I mean, like when going back with Mutos and having the insect-like traits, if you look at some type of animals as well as some types of insects, including these cicadas, is that the female species are actually larger than the males are. So Mutos and more what?
I was going to say way more aggressive usually too.
At times, yeah, depending on which type of insect. So,
right.
So kind of like with these cicadas, Mutos in a way, you see the largest one being female and the smaller one being a male. I think that pays homage to the types of insects and animals that have that size trait, if you will. And like you said, it definitely seemed to show that the female Mutos was far more aggressive than the male one was.
That's right.
And, aren't female mosquitoes the only ones that bite humans?
Yeah,
that's true.
Males,
yeah.
And
why
same
is it
with bees.
Females?
Because the females are carrying the eggs, and they need the blood to nourish the eggs.
And that's the same thing also with that's also the same thing also with bees too. Like with worker, you got the worker. Well, most workers are actually female. The male ones are the bumblebees.
Oh.
Although the sad part is they're not very reality is unlike in this case with other types of insects. They're not very reliable. It's for just mating, and that's pretty much it. I mean, and they don't sing, they can't even feed themselves. As a matter of fact, a little quick education on this too is out when because since we're getting into the summer now, sad part is when summer ends and fall arrives, many of those bumblebees they're basically rejected and kicked out of the out of the out of their hives. Basically, a few days after they've been kicked out, they die.
Yep, that's really how Mucho would have been. But
I would love to see that Santi, Godzilla and Bowser.
Oh,
yeah,
Godzilla would completely destroy Bowser.
That would be
epic. But what happens if Bowser became kaiju size? That's the real question.
He still would destroy him.
He got the star. What if he has the star?
Godzilla.
I gotta get my.
Oh, he's gotta get something. He's gotta go have his wisdom teeth taken out.
No,
yes.
I really wish.
I can help you with that.
DIY wisdom teeth pulling.
Yeah.
You know what? I'd rather have Rick.
He's running away now. We'll never see him again. He's running.
I gotta get my laptop.
He's gonna go visit Tom.
Laptop's dying.
Yep.
That's what they all say.
I keep telling you to have that charger with you. I do it. Look, mine's hooked up.
Oh yeah.
And let's see. Oh yeah, I want to mention that one stunt involving when Ford was going against Muto on that bridge. Like when they were trying to deliver a bomb, right? Because Muto is they're motivated to go after radiation. And that's their thing, and to nurse their young, just like mosquitoes. Feeding blood. But anyway, so they ended up. Muto ended up destroying a bridge that Ford ended up jumping off and plummeting right into the water below. That's like a 200-foot drop at the very least. There's no way you'd be able to survive that. I mean, we're talking shattered bones, severe internal injuries. Yeah, you don't like. That's why I don't take those moments in movies seriously. You don't survive off a jump like that.
Yeah, if you're
I
going
just saw the one about Tom Cruise
right.
ejecting.
Hold on. If you go in the water and you do it right, you can survive those.
But not without injury.
I'm telling you. I mean, I've jumped off a 150-foot cliff into a lake, and I didn't suffer one broken bone. No injuries. You just got to learn how to dive right.
Oh,
Joe's immortal. We all know that.
Yeah,
Joe's
he's a vampire.
immortal.
Remember?
Joe is superhuman. We learned that today.
No, it's all about diving right and learning how to hit the water just right. If you hit the water wrong, yeah, you're gonna end up hurt.
True. I don't think that guy thought about it though. When he fell off, though, right, Don? Anyway,
Maybe not, but I'm just saying it is possible to survive those. I mean, I even fell off a 100-foot drop down because I was climbing a cliff when I was younger, and I fell. It was like 75 feet down to the tracks.
Wow.
Man.
I was lucky. I got knocked out, but there was a friend there because there was a train coming at the time too.
Wow. So lucky.
So, and I was laying on the tracks. So it's like, shit, you had to come and get me quick, climb down, come and get me quick off the tracks.
Yeah.
Get me conscious and off to the sides. But I went back the next day, started climbing again.
Wow, that's really brave.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Well, I was back when I was younger, I don't know about you guys, but back when I was younger, I felt I was like invincible. You're a kid, you're invincible,
Yeah, no fear.
You're going to take your bike over a ramp and see if you can jump so many barrels or, even though it's just a pedal bike, I mean, come on, how many didn't build those ramps or take a skateboard and go into a half pipe and try to do tricks,
Yes.
I mean, we did all kinds of crazy shit when we were young. It's amazing we're still alive.
Oh yeah,
true.
In some cases, but I was one that did some of the extreme stuff. I saw cliffs and I thought sometimes, I want to, I did a lot of free climbing, so there was no ropes, no safety, nothing. I just had to have a good pair of shoes and make sure that I could grip, and sometimes I'd make it and sometimes I'd slip and fall, but I was lucky. I never broke any bones. Got a concussion or two.
Oh.
Yeah.
A few stitches maybe.
Wow.
But I was one of those ones that took it to the extreme, the extreme sports for the adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
That's what it was about. It was for that adrenaline rush. And then it was for, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, that definitely.
That's one that still goes on today.
Oh, here. I wanted to show this right here. One of the greatest improvement, like changes I think in this movie by far was not only the roar, but also Godzilla's signature move, the atomic breath.
Yeah, I love that part. That was cool as hell.
Yeah, instead of making it just like a normal beam, it's like fire.
Yeah, that's what it should have been.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
It's kind of like blue flames.
Yeah, like a flamethrower.
Right.
Oh
yeah.
Even though it's not flame,
so cool.
Which one was fins would light up?
I mean, lots of people keep saying, Godzilla breathes fire when it's technically a beam of radiation.
Yeah, it's technically, it's which is why they call it the atomic breath. But it has that flame-like look to it this time.
Yes.
You were saying something, Chris?
Oh, I was just asking which movie was it? Was fins would light up when he shot it?
His dorsal plates. That's the majority of them. Well, they're not actually fins; they're dorsal plates.
Yeah, thank you. I know.
In fact, actually, I'll even just throw this out as another trivia fact. In fact, the only Godzilla movie out there that exists that did not display that trait was his second appearance back in 1955. Godzilla Raids Again. That's the only Godzilla movie where he would unleash his atomic breath and his dorsal plates would not glow.
Nice.
Right. And also the color of the dorsal plates depends on the kind of power he has. Like if there were several where his power like increased. Like let's see. Like in here in Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, where he got bonded with the corpse of a fire Rodan, he gained the red spiral ray.
Here, put it on. Yeah, he would have. Yeah, his dorsal plates would glow like orange red.
Cool.
Yep. Until he ended up, his body ended up like a nuclear reactor. Too much power caused him to slowly lead to a meltdown, like right here in Godzilla versus Destroyer, where he has that red glow all over his body.
But his most common color for the glow is usually just like a blue-white color. Although for the first time, let's not forget, a few years after Godzilla 2014 is when Shin Godzilla. Oh, you're going to show that too?
Yes.
I think we've all felt like that, haven't we? When we've had a meltdown.
Is it full screen? Okay.
Yeah, I got it.
I pressed the wrong button.
No, if you need me to full screen, Don, next time, just let me know and I can do that for you.
Okay.
But let's not also forget too in Shin Godzilla, which was the first one that Toho made in 12 years. That was the first time that his dorsal fins would actually, and his atomic breath was purple in color. Right. And if that wasn't enough, his dorsal fins even became a weapon of themselves, because for the first time ever, he not only just had the atomic breath coming out of his mouth, he had it shooting from his tail, which was almost like a giant laser beam.
Yes.
And he had this new ability where he could fire dozens of atomic radiation beams from his own dorsal fin. So even his dorsal fins became a weapon of itself. It was quite a great addition.
It's like he evolves like a Pokemon.
Pretty much.
Yeah, very much. He kind of does.
Godzilla was a Pokemon the whole time.
Yeah. Well, and it's a compelling new type of power ability that we never see with Godzilla.
Godzilla, I choose you.
Well, you know what? Actually, you threw something out. Another important thing, because we brought up earlier Godzilla's box office rival, Gamera. You know, the flying turtle that spits fire. He became the inspiration for Squirtle in Pokemon. Yeah, because when he spins around, he shoots water out from his sides. That's based off Gamera, because instead he does the same thing, but instead of water, it's flames that comes out of his whole areas.
That's right. And let's see what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I like how it's pretty crazy. What's different about this Godzilla movie compared to the other ones is that they had a slow build up leading up to the full reveal of Godzilla.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also revealing his other abilities known for, including the atomic breath, which he used twice in this movie. One on the final one that he used, like blowing that atomic breath down the Muto's throat and just causing a decapitation. That was beyond epic.
Yes,
and
that
then
was really cool.
And then
decapitation.
Oh yeah, and also the way the whole city just praised Godzilla as a hero as he just got up and returned to the sea. That was an amazing scene as well.
Right.
Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to go because I'm feeling a bit rough. So I'm just going to go and lay down. But I'll be in the comments.
Okay.
Take care, Kate.
Yeah, take care. Hope you get better.
Thanks for
Thank you. I'll see you soon.
Safe
Bye.
travels.
Take care.
Always nice having her around.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And so, yeah, this is like one of the very few instances where like a whole city just praises Godzilla being their savior.
Yeah. Another thing that should be brought up, and this is something also when it comes to Shin Godzilla too. It's amazing to think in the Monsterverse universe, Godzilla is portrayed as the hero, but when Toho brought him back for Shin Godzilla, he was the villain in this one. So it's actually interesting where you see him playing two different roles from two different sides of the world. In the Western universe, he's the hero. In the Eastern, he's the villain.
Yeah, and also same in Godzilla -1.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Curious to see what the next one will be, because they're already saying they're making another one.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So if you haven't seen Godzilla -1, definitely check it out on Netflix because we will be covering it soon.
Chris, I gotta just say this right now, Chris. I see that statue next to you, and every time I keep kind of like, when you're on the corner of my eye, I actually think there's someone standing next to you, like waiting in line or something.
It's actually a picture from the Abbey, Nick.
Oh, really?
That shadow is Abigail.
Oh, it's a green screen. I thought that was. I thought that was.
I knew
thought
it
that was an actual room.
No, that's Abigail's shadow. On the
Abigail.
wall.
Oh, Abigail's shadow. Yeah, Abigail. Yep.
Nice.
The little ghost. It's the little ghost girl from the Abbey.
Yep.
Right. Oh, yeah. And so, and like we were. Oh, here. You're better, okay. Thank you, Thomas. Okay, I just wanted to see what you.
Wait, hang on. Santi also said this. What was it?
Yeah, you look like the Duck Hunter.
I'm gonna call the Pokemon Snovo and tell him to drop Twitter early for Nick's white shirt. What is going on here? What is with you and my white shirt?
Yeah, even though mine is not completely white, I do have stripes on mine.
Oh, there you go. So Don is better. Because he has stripes.
You know, if I
or he's in jail, one way or the other.
You know, if I can only just come up to you right now, Chris, I'd be like, "Damn it, Beavis!"
Well,
Smack
you
you
know,
saying that.
It's better than, you know, what's the worst thing you could do right now to really screw with people, Nick, is go out and get yourself a plain Kelly green shirt. Okay. Then when you're sitting in front of the camera on StreamYard and you got your Nick files back there, you'll see Nick files across your whole body because
that's true.
You'll be, you know, so you won't blend out because you're wearing a black shirt and you won't disappear. You'll just have Nick files all across you and you'll be able to see it, the whole words.
Yeah, I just got word that Gareth Edwards, director of this movie, is going to be directing Jurassic World 4. Why do we need a Jurassic World 4? Why?
Because Hollywood's got no imagination.
Same reason you knew the Sharknado.
Saying that they got to keep making sequels or spin-offs or whatever, and they don't do it right. They're just doing it for the money.
Yeah, and Kate brings up a good question. Does Godzilla have a baby? Yes, there are some instances where he does. And my favorite example of that is when he was introduced in Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla 2. We were introduced to baby Godzilla, who then grows up into Godzilla Jr.
Yep.
Yeah, but
look at my tag, Joe. Look what my tag says.
Oh yeah, who would then mutate into the Godzilla that you see in Godzilla 2000.
I thought that was supposed to be a separate storyline.
Yeah, but wasn't the cartoon it called Godzuki?
It's Godzuki in the cartoon.
He wasn't his
that's
son. He wasn't his son. He was his nephew, apparently.
Well, still, I still like that.
That's what I put on my tag.
Godzuki. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, one theory I do have is that the Godzilla Jr. in the end of Godzilla versus Destroya, when Godzilla had died and deteriorated and just melted down, I like to think that radiation from that was absorbed by Godzilla Jr. and he became the Godzilla in Godzilla 2000.
Yeah, it's funny though, because even though they're not necessarily connected, you know, like it's not an official like sequel or, you know, a few years later, I can see that in a way because especially with Godzilla 2000, it's the first Godzilla movie too, where for the entire movie, Godzilla's breath is that ultimate atomic breath. It stays as that orange red spiral ray instead of the typical, and that continued also for Godzilla versus Megaguirus.
Here, let me show. In case you're wondering, let me show you that picture of like what baby Godzilla looked like in Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla 2. Let me pull it up here.
Is that the old movie?
Here, let me just.
I gotta see what Sati just said.
Let me maximize that.
Of course it is. It's too easy.
But they got
here we go.
Doing things the way they do. They got to keep the franchise going because you figure first in 1954, the longer they can keep it going, nobody's gonna break that record.
Yeah, I mean, I know it won't show it in this picture, but it's
I love that. That is so cute.
Yeah, it doesn't show it. It doesn't show it here, but it is actually the size of a full-grown man. Right. Yeah. Right after.
And he looks so harmless.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah, the way he always is attracted to like the woman scientist who worked with him. Like right after his head, the first thing he saw was her, and towards everything else, he was just like, not the mama.
Not the mama.
Well, in the end, you got the end of Godzilla, versus Mechagodzilla 2, when he actually reunites with Godzilla. It's actually, even though it's a heartwarming ending, it's also sometimes considered one of the most saddest endings too, because just seeing that he has to go live with his own kind. It's positive, but it's also sad at the very same time.
Then he grows up into this.
Yeah,
Baby Godzilla. That's him in Godzilla versus Space Godzilla.
That's the one I like.
Yeah, which I gotta bring up. I gotta say something about this. And Don, I remember we talked about this too. A lot of people have actually considered one famous scene from that movie when Space Godzilla first lands on Earth and then imprisons Space Godzilla into the ground. Before that, fighting, the actual Godzilla himself. A lot of people say that oftentimes because it kind of resembled something else. Here's a question for you guys. Don, I already know the answer for you. Who all here is big fans of Dragon Ball Z?
Yes.
Because, okay, so the reason why I brought it up is because that scene when Space Godzilla first lands on Earth and then fights Godzilla. Yeah, there you go. That scene when Space Godzilla lands on Earth, fights Godzilla, and then takes and basically kidnaps Space Godzilla, little Godzilla. I think, that seems to really remind me a lot like when Raditz first came to Earth and kidnapped Gohan and then fought Goku afterwards. Right. I'm thinking, is this Godzilla? Is this the Godzilla's franchise to like pay homage to Dragon Ball Z? Because which was, if you think about it, was only 94. That was at a time when this was
Charmander.
Yeah, this was at a time when Dragon Ball Z was hugely popular at that time.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say, like, everybody keeps saying like how much of an insult to Japanese culture that Godzilla in 1998 was, but it's not as serious as the biggest offense we ever made to Japan, and that is Dragon Ball Evolution.
Oh gosh,
that was horrible.
Don't remind me.
That sucked horribly.
Yeah, I got to agree with Cade. Yeah, he did kind of look a little bit like Charmander in a way. So even adding, and that was in 94. This was even before Pokemon even started. It didn't start until 2 years later, or than the Magma.
Right, that's true. But yeah, like that's the thing. Like when my college girlfriend absolutely loved Baby Godzilla. Yeah, like when we watched that movie together and like saw a hatch out the egg, she thought, oh, it's so cute.
I just think to myself, again, another DVZ reference. I just think to myself again with Godzilla versus Space Godzilla. I just think, okay, so Godzilla is Goku.
That's what I was referencing, Kate. Here.
Yeah. Yes. I just think that, okay, Godzilla is Goku, little Godzilla is Gohan, and Space Godzilla is Raditz.
Here. This is what I was referring to, Kate. Hang on.
Not the mama.
Yeah.
Which
I love that.
Oh yeah.
Which
I never really. I never
ended with all their deaths.
Yeah. I never really watched that series.
Looks like a T-Rex
with sclerosis. Are you kidding me?
Nice. I agree. Yeah.
Wow.
It's like, and that scene was so satisfying in Godzilla Final Wars where the real Godzilla just took down Zilla within just 10-15 seconds. Yeah. That was so satisfying.
Well, and some people often wondered why set in Australia when they shot that in Sydney, Australia. I mean,
so random.
Well, if you think about it, I know it's kind of like a loose remake of Destroy All Monsters from 1968, where they had different monsters destroy major cities this time outside of Tokyo around the world. But the reason why they set it in Japan, in Australia, and get this, after Godzilla 1998 was made, it was originally meant to be part of, it was originally meant to be the beginning of a trilogy they were going to make.
Yes.
And so the second one that would have been made, which would have brought most of the characters back once again, is that, because if you guys remember at the end of when they show the baby Godzilla hatching from the egg,
that
was obviously going to be new Godzilla or Zilla. I'm going to say that because it's not Godzilla. That was not only was it going to be the new Zilla, but there was supposed to be a few other surviving. It actually supposedly asexually produced more little Godzillas, but taking place in Australia this time. So it explains the reason why it takes place. And had it been made, this would have also been Zilla's first movie fighting another monster, which this time was going to be like a giant. I think it was like a giant mosquito or a bee of some sort. And the name of it was pretty crazy. I don't normally talk this way, but it was supposed to be. This monster's name was supposed to be known as Queen Bitch.
What?
Yeah. It was she was kind of like there's sketches of what she probably would have looked like. Put it this way, it would have been almost like an Americanized version of Megaguirus, except unlike it being a dragonfly, it was supposed to be like a giant mosquito or a wasp of some sort, and just like Megaguirus,
I would think being called Queen Bitch, I would think it would be like a giant wasp or something like that.
That's what I'm saying. It was either supposed to like be a mosquito or a wasp, but just like Megaguirus did a few years later, she too was supposed to have like an army of smaller wasp-like parasitic creatures to do her bidding. Oh. And Zilla is supposed, and of course, obviously, Zilla is, and it's all supposed to take place in Australia this time. So that's why. You go back now with Godzilla Final Wars, that's why it was set in Sydney, Australia, because that's where the sequel was originally supposed to take place.
Yeah. Hey, Kate, alternate name for Godzilla. Well, Godzilla does have the original Japanese game name Gojira. Yep.
Here, I'm actually looking for a picture of what the queen was supposed to look like.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it was supposed to be, no, not a wasp. It was Queen Bitch was supposed to be a giant termite-like species.
Interesting.
Yeah, not a wasp or a...
Yeah, but they have the same thing. Like termites have a queen.
Yeah, they do.
So that makes sense as well. See,
this is probably the best picture I can find that supposedly that what Queen Bitch was supposed to look like. Yeah, it's a giant it was supposed to be a giant mutated termite.
Nice.
Wait, what was that, Joe? What was that?
What was what?
No, something appeared on your. What was that? What was that supposed to be? Charles Manson popping up on there?
Oh,
but my green screen doesn't work too well.
Oh,
anymore.
He has that.
I don't have that green screen back here.
He has that up he has that on several occasions. I've seen it before.
Okay. Anyway, can you show the picture, Nick?
I'm trying to. I don't know what's going. Oh shoot! Hang on, something's frozen here again. You guys go ahead. I mean, you continue talking down while I try to get this settled. If I do go off, I'll just be gone for a second because I don't know what's going on here.
Okay. Let's see. So, if basically saying if Godzilla like had a different name other than Godzilla or Gojira, what would it be?
Oh
man, that's a good question.
Giant lizard? No. Atomic something. I don't know.
Atomic Komodo? No.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to think. I'm like,
No. Basically, any name anybody would come up with would probably be terrible.
I know. Giant atomic lizard Komodo man, queen, king.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it'd be hard to come up with something else because it's been
atomic lizard. Yeah.
I mean, Godzilla's been around since the 50s, so it was a big part of my childhood. And the reason I got into like sci-fi movies and then the horror movies and all of that,
right?
It was all because of the Godzilla monster Japanese franchise of things. It was a big part of my childhood because we had nothing else to watch on a rainy day.
Oh yeah.
Otherwise we're kicked outside.
Yeah, when I was little, I kept like renting Godzilla movies from Blockbuster, and yeah, that was the only way back then.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try. I think I got the picture now. Hopefully it works. All right, here we go. So this is what Queen Bitch. This is probably the best one I could find of what she was supposed to look like.
Okay,
the one that was. It's kind of dark, but yeah.
Huh.
Okay.
Hmm.
You can see it has a termite kind of look to it.
Kitten is a better name.
Yep. Wait, what?
What?
Wait, what? Kitten is a better name for God.
Oh
No. No. Atomic Kitten.
Atomic. Isn't that? Wait a minute. Atomic Kitten. Isn't that the name of a group from like the early 2000s or something? I thought there was a band or someone group by that name.
I don't know. Maybe.
Now I gotta look. But anyways, that was it's kind of an interesting.
As a monkey. Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, it's kind of it definitely has.
It is a band.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it is. You know what? Actually, I've actually heard some of their songs. Yeah, they were
I had
big.
to look them up real quick. Yep.
Yeah, they were a girl group, and yeah, they were big back in the late 90s, early 2000s.
They're from Liverpool.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
You know, I actually remember, and I know this is a song that's been covered multiple times, but they actually did a really awesome, cool version of and I've always been a big fan of this song, but did a really cool version of the Locomotion back in 2000. It was
I love that
quite
song.
an updated. Yeah, I love it. In fact, I found out where that song would later be added to. Wasn't a good movie, but they still added it anyway. Because you remember a few weeks ago, Don, when we talked about some nostalgic stuff, you know, from our childhood and stuff like that. It was actually added. It was actually added to that movie Thomas and the Magic Railroad. So, but it's an okay film as I remember when I was young. I mean, not as good, but awesome cover song though.
I see.
Kong inferior, Godzilla superior.
Godzilla mid, giant monkey better.
That's my best soundbite impression right there. Sorry.
All right, well, guys, I think we're gonna wrap this up now. So,
cool.
Yeah,
I changed my background for you, Nick.
Oh yeah, what is that?
That's my ankle.
That's your ankle?
Wait, what?
Yeah. That's my ankle.
X-ray?
Oh,
an X-ray of it.
Oh!
What the hell is that in your? What the hell is that in your leg?
Tectonic plate.
Yeah.
Oh,
tectonic plate.
It totally got shattered. It was like cut offable, basically.
Yikes!
It just was held on by skin when I broke it.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Ouch!
Man. Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
oh my God, Thomas was thinking the same thing. Ouch.
Yeah.
So tonight we're gonna wrap this up now. So yeah, Godzilla 2014. It's as great as I remember in theaters. So definitely give this one a watch. Yeah, I mean it's not. I mean I still consider Godzilla -1 to be better, but yeah, this one's definitely worth seeing if you enjoy a good Godzilla like a monster is brawling. Yeah. So
if I could just add one more thing, because I'm surprised you didn't bring this up, Don. I mean, and this is one final thing about the Mutos monsters. I should also recommend this too. If anybody's trying to look at find a Godzilla movie that has original monsters to it, it's definitely one to check out. Because
I did mention
about it when it comes to Mutos, even though they have some resemblance to some previous kaiju from both the Godzilla and Gamera franchise, Mutos is basically the first true original monsters to have have been created since in over 40 years. Since last one was Titanosaurus back in 1975.
Holy
and
crap.
I say original because there were all these new monsters in between, but every monster between then had some kind of connection either to Godzilla or even Mothra. Like if you look at like Mothra, for example, like with Batra. These are the first original that have no connection to them whatsoever. So it's definitely a good, also in a way, an original movie too, where they feature really official new monsters for the first time in 40 years.
I discussed that earlier, Nick. How Muto was an original monster.
Oh, I guess I must have been upstairs when you mentioned
You're
it.
getting a charger.
Yeah.
Oh no, I was going up for my jaw.
I'm just messing with you, Nick.
Yeah. All right, so hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to join us next week when the next movie we're covering is since next week is going to be like National Alligator Crocodile Week, or not national, international. Yeah, I decided to cover what I consider to be the best crocodile movie. Like and like a nature horror movie. Rogue from 2007. It's made from Australia. Yeah, the man who directed Wolf Creek directed it.
Oh, really? Oh,
yes.
Geez.
Wow.
Wolf Creek's a brutal movie.
Oh yes. So
look at it. He's out.
And so I've sent the link to everybody who is in the FearFans group through our social network. I've for that movie because I'm unable to set up a watch party. So I gave you guys the link so you can watch it for yourselves whenever you have time. So you got a week. So we'll definitely except for me because
you got it already.
Yeah, I was about to say, except for me, I got that covered. I got here. Where is it? Oh, here. I got a digital copy.
There you go.
Like I got it right here.
If I could also just throw in one other announcement just before we go, Don, and this is something also in case anybody wants to check out. This upcoming Thursday on Things Network and also a few additional networks. I'm going to be doing To the Grave and Back. Joe obviously will be part of that too. With Lois, we're going to do a special this Thursday, which we're going to be doing a autism awareness special. And I know a couple of our show hosts here from this show, as well as possibly a few others, are going to be joining us. So we're going to be talking about, obviously Joe will be part of it. Lois has put it together. I'll be there. Don, hopefully you'll be able to be there. Or if not from the beginning, you'll be there in the later part of the show. Kate's going to be there. We're going to have, in fact, actually, Nikki had messaged me during the show. She wants to be part of it too, depending on what time it is in Australia. It's going to be a very special one. And also, Don, in case, I don't know if you know this with StreamYard, because I don't know if you're going to have the controls to it this time. Well, maybe you might actually, because it's all under the same account. But if not, you can still have this broadcasted on your YouTube channel if you like to have people check it out.
I'll consider it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We'll worry about it, of course, for Thursday. But
what time?
What time?
Oh, that's what I was about to get to. That's going to be at 3:00 Central Standard Time, which will be about 1:00 your time, Chris.
Yeah,
and which for in Lois's case, I'll be about 8:00 p.m. her time. It'll already be evening over there. As far as Nikki in Australia, I don't know exactly what time. It might be late, but if she's willing to come on, for a late night show for her side, we're still more than happy to have. Oh, Jeremy's supposed to be there too, I think. So
yeah,
I do not know what time it's going to be for Australia. In Australia for her though, but that's going to be the times over here. So
okay,
3:00 CST.
Perfect.
Yeah. Okay, so that's 2 my time. But I'll be at work probably. But
okay.
I'll flick it on my phone.
Oh, it's gonna be 2:00. I thought it was 1. Oh, your mountain time. Yeah, that's that you're an hour behind us.
Right.
I'll flick it on my phone and listen to it on the radio as I drive.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So that's gonna be it for this edition of the FearFans podcast. Please sure to join us next week as we cover Rogue, a criminally underrated killer crocodile movie. That's it's worth seeing. It has Rhoda Mitchell and Jeff and Sam Worthington, who 2 years before Avatar.
I thought that came out the same year, 2007. No. Oh wait, no, you're right. Yeah, it was 2009. 2009.
I know my years.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why I thought that was when they first started probably working on it. It wasn't 2007. It was probably when they first started, but 2009 wasn't. That was when it came out.
Right. So hope you guys enjoyed. Hit the like button if you did. Absolutely. Share with your friends, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Good night, everyone.